These are the plaintiffs, Leslie Crowell and Vanessa Nelson Gonzalez. Leslie says they purchased a house from the defendant for $400,000, and unbeknownst to them at the time, he had unpaid taxes he owed, and they were forced to pay them. They sent the defendant a certified letter, which he ignored, a second certified letter, which he denied accepting. Since he has chosen to ignore them, they have no choice but to sue him for the $10,000 they know that they're owed. This is the defendant, Praveen Ratin. He says there were no unpaid taxes on the house when he sold it to the plaintiffs. They're confused because when they went to the town to build a new garage, they were required to pay some fees for permits, and for some reason, they think he should be responsible to pay them. Well, sorry, they're mistaken. He's accused of not paying his fair share.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs bought a house from the defendant for $400,000, but the defendant owed taxes on it. We're talking 10 grand, and the plaintiffs had to pay. The defendant says there were no unpaid taxes. It's the case of you tax my patience.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Leslie Kroll, Jean Kroll, and Vanessa Nelson Gonzalez. Okay,
Yes.
Who's present in front of me?
Leslie Kroll.
And
Vanessa Nelson Gonzalez.
you are suing Praveen Ratan for $10,000. You say you're actually out $11,000 because according to you, he has cost you that much for violations on a home that you bought for him. Tell me what's going on.
Well, Your Honor, we bought the home in 2017.
Okay?
And
when did you close?
believe it was March 31st or 30th.
March of 2017.
The last day of March
Okay.
2017.
Uh-huh.
And there was no garage on the property.
Uh-huh.
We bought the property because we wanted to extend it and then maybe put a mother-in-law unit on it. And when we went down to, I can't remember if we got the violation of the ordinance before or if we went down and got notification at that particular time that we couldn't build on the property because the previous owner had not paid for the permit to demolish the garage.
Okay, so there had been a garage there at some point.
Yeah.
A carport. It was dilapidated. A tree fell on it, so I did remove it, yes.
Not a garage, but a carport.
Carport.
And then according to you, you were told by the city that everybody had to have a garage, or you could
Yes.
have a carport?
We had to have a garage.
Okay. Do you have anything in writing from the city saying every house has to have a garage?
Yes.
How long did you own the place?
I bought it
Ordinances,
in
Section 2.
October of 2015. The house was empty for 5 years. It was run down, so it took me about a year and 3 months to complete. Got permits for everything.
If you got permits for anything, did anybody ever tell you, hey, you have to have a garage?
No. They didn't say.
So did you, once you got sued, did you go back to them and say, hey, guys,
I did. They're like, there's nothing there. In the city of Hayward, there is no ordinance saying you have to have a garage. That's what they told me.
So let's start with step one, because that's how the whole thing starts, is that step one, show me how you have to have a garage.
That's from the city.
Okay, notice of violation. All right, so did you take this to the city of Hayward?
Did. I said, what happens? They're like, well, you should have paid a permit when you took it down. I was like, well, a tree fell on
Okay, so
it.
they did tell you needed to have taken a permit.
At that point, yes.
Okay, all right. So what happens?
The problem was that we had to pay for the permit to demolish the property.
That
which
someone else had demolished.
Yeah, that somebody else
How
had
much did you
demolished.
pay?
And,
It's 1,500 and
Show me
15.
proof that you paid it.
oh, that's in,
it was paid in with the contract for the reconstruction of the garage.
When you bought this house, was the plan to build a garage, yes or no?
yes, a garage and convert it into a mother-in-law unit, yes.
Apparently you got to do that in secret.
Actually, no.
They allow
They
us
allow
to
that.
convert it, but they said that
But it has to be built
a garage
first. Right, and I understand that, but so let's take a moment. You bought the place, you knew you were going to have to build something there. By the way, did you have title insurance?
Yes, the title insurance paid for it, Your Honor.
You're kidding me. This is the first time I've
Except
ever seen the
for-
title insurance pay for anything.
Oh, yeah, they paid for all of
We
it.
have-
but
Yeah, because they really messed up.
4,000.
Now, you had a deductible with them.
Yes, we had a
And that's the 4,000 something?
$490 deductible.
So, okay, so let's go back a second. Let's say there's no violation. Let's just assume for a moment, for the sake of argument, there's no violation. Y'all were going to buy this property, and y'all were going to pay the full construction costs of the mother-in-law's quarters, but instead what happened is there's a violation. So
Yeah.
now all you got to pay is 4,000 something, and the construction's got to be what? 30 grand? What is it? 20?
It was 27,000.
27,000. So
Yeah.
here you thought you were going to pay 27,000 and you're only paying 4,900 because you kind of got lucky about the. I love this case. It's really interesting. That doesn't deprive you of a right to come to court. It's interesting, right? Because we all know that you were going to pay 27. You got lucky. You paid 4.9, which is just the deductible because the title company was asleep at the helm.
The title company was also asleep at the helm with the taxes.
Now let's talk about that because that's an entirely separate thing. So tell me about the taxes, because apparently there were also back taxes.
It was supplemental taxes. When we went down, they said the supplemental taxes for 2015-16 were not paid.
It's for 2015, 16.
16. That's when Mr. Rattan owned the property.
Okay. What's your position on the taxes? According to them, is $640.34 in taxes.
Once I sold the property, it was a 2-bedroom. I made it into a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. So once the property sold, they reassessed the
Right.
property.
You don't object to having to pay the $600?
I
then?
paid that already.
When did you pay?
I paid that 2 weeks ago when they told me what it was about.
Okay.
So that
All right,
has,
let me see proof that you
yeah.
paid it. You guys didn't pay this, right?
No.
Okay, good,
We just
good.
have a letter
Yeah.
saying it was owed.
Okay, how much did you pay?
300 something, and then another one was 100 something. That's
So
all
what's the total?
That's the when I called Alameda County, they told me that's all I owed on there for the supplemental tax. And
Because you gave them the date of the closing?
Yes, they pulled up everything.
Okay,
and
so
that's what I had.
what he paid was $465.71. So, because that's what, according to him, that's what they told him he paid. So give me a second to figure this out, because if he should pay more, then he should pay more. You know, this is a bill that says something is due November 30th, 2017. But
That's when
yes,
they
it's
resent
about
the
the
bills.
improvement.
Yes.
So how do you come up
There's
with it?
fees. So this letter that we got from the Alameda County Tax Association says if it's paid after a certain date, it will be this
Got it.
much.
Okay. Yep. This is the letter from the county saying that if you pay it after November 30th, 2018, the amount has now come up to $648.30. So you need to pay the difference.
Okay.
So I know you're trying to do the right thing. I see that from you running out and doing this, but there are fees associated with
Okay.
having waited this long.
Your Honor, can I
And
just
you
say
can
something?
take that up with them?
Yeah, I just spoke to them last week, and they pulled up everything from 2015.
Okay, that's
and up.
great, but now look at me. I have this, you have this, so if they are saying this is all that's owed, then get something from them that says that they're
I
not
will.
going to charge this,
I will.
because they are saying this, and I've got to reconcile them. So we'll take a recess, and maybe Alameda County, wherever the heck
Alameda County.
Alameda
Yeah.
County will talk to you and say, we'll waive it, whatever it is. I just need proof of that, because they're not getting stuck with the difference, okay?
they're not,
So let's
yes.
put the taxes to a side. The taxes are getting handled. Now, the next thing that I want to talk to you about is unpaid permit required to demolish the garage.
I gave you that.
Right, and that's the $1,502.74. Did you pay that? You were going to give me something to show, I guess you paid the contractor?
Yes.
The contractor was in charge of paying all the fees. It was
Okay,
a
did the
installment
contractor
payment.
pay it? Do you have
Yes.
proof of that?
That's the final permits on the house. And this is.
Hold on, don't go to the next thing. I'm a simple woman.
Okay.
You told me that I would find it here. I don't see the figure 1,500 anywhere.
It's all included in that, Your Honor.
I'm not obviously seeing that you paid the 1,500. I don't know
Okay,
that this isn't for the construction of a new 12 by 20 detached garage. This isn't everything you're telling me, oh, it's all lumped together, but I'm not seeing evidence of that. I need to know that you were charged $1,502.74 for what he did or didn't do. In order for me to tell him you got to pay $1,500, I'm not going to have him pay your permitting fees for your new construction that you always knew you were going to do. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so you go ahead and take a, I'm going to take a recess anyway, and I know you have a lot of documentation, so that's what I'm going to need. If your contractor paid $1,502.74, I'm going to need proof that your contractor paid that. And the storage units, tell me why he would pay you $5,000 for you to store stuff when you always knew you were going to store stuff because you were buying a place that you needed to build on.
We wouldn't have had to go through all the rigmarole and everything else.
Yeah, you did. You were going to build a mother-in-law school. You had to go through the rigmarole. You shouldn't go through extra expense, but you always counted on going through the rigmarole. When you close on that place, you had a storage unit. You put your stuff in storage. How is it that he has to pay for that storage now?
According to the city, the garage was supposed to have been there the whole time.
Yeah, so what?
And
I hear you on that.
So we shouldn't have had
Except
to
for
wait that
that,
long.
no one hid a lack of garage from you, so you were always going to spend the money on the storage. We're going to take a recess. What I want you to do in the meantime is take this, which is what you handed me, and this, which is what they were mailed a few months ago, and figure out whether any more property taxes are something that you have to pay. All right? And I don't want to hear flopping gums about it. I want something in writing from Alameda County about nothing, this covered it, or no, this is due. Got it? That's going to be your task.
All right.
You're going to reach out to your contractor and find out if this amount that you're suing for, specifically $1,502.74, was ever paid. Court is in recess.
All right.
Thank you.
So why do cities require that homeowners who build houses have garages?
I think it's just like a safety issue where they're afraid that, cities are kind of dangerous.
What's a safety thing?
The safety thing, like people getting their stuff stolen. So
Yeah, but that's on the person. Why require a garage? Anybody?
Parking spaces, there are not a whole lot of them.
I think that's the answer. I actually think that's the answer. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, so let's start with you first. My staff contacted the county with you, and what did they say?
That particular tax that they're talking about is canceled.
This one, the one that says that it's 600 and something, got canceled. And then they reissued it in the amount of the 116 and the 349, which is exactly the amount he paid. The taxes are taken care of. Now, I asked you guys to see if you could find anywhere where you had to pay $1,502.74 on his behalf.
Your Honor, the only thing that we could find was in the proposal and the contract, and it says the drawings and the building permits included in the proposal.
Right. So that means
that's
that
all-
so let me see if I got this straight.
Yeah.
You bought a house, you knew you were going to build, and you had to pay for permits for you to build. You did not get charged some penalty or fine because he didn't have a garage there, which, by the way, wasn't a surprise to you. In fact, you have done better than you thought you would because you got the title insurance company for not showing you what they needed to show you, okay? They ended up paying 20-something grand of your construction. All right, so I am not going to make him, there's no such thing as an unpaid permit fee. Either you have the permit or you don't. You guys had to pay a permit fee because you had to pay a permit fee for what you wanted to do, what you always knew you wanted to do it. So there's no penalty or fee out there outstanding for him. Okay, we're done with that. Then the insurance deductible to build the garage, that one's kind of funny considering that a garage you thought was going to cost you $30,000 cost you $4,490 in a deductible. However, you feel he should have to pay your insurance deductible of your title company, which is absurd. That's the insurance policy you bought. So that's nothing to do with him. He doesn't have to pay your deductible. And the storage unit where you've had stuff stored for all this time during your construction, he also doesn't have to pay for.
Well, Your Honor.
So what he does have to pay for is what he did pay for. Other than the property taxes, which have already been paid, my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the plaintiffs fail in this $10,000 lawsuit. You look stunned when the judge announced her verdict.
Yes, because it was a violation of the ordinances and everything else that he did not put up the garage.
Not to the judge's decision.
Right.
She went over this very carefully.
I understand
to you,
that.
and
But we were
it's
out
not
a lot of money, including...
You got $20 grand from the title insurance company. How about that?
No, we didn't get that.
You didn't get the title insurance company money from them?
No. The
Well, no, they
contractor
built
did.
the garage.
Well,
Yeah, we built
oh,
it.
well,
Yeah,
whatever. All right. It was built for $4,000.
Yeah.
You made out like a bandit there. All right,
and not
folks,
only that-
I'm sorry the judge's decision was against you, but that's it. You got to live with it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Sorry about that. Thank you. Good try. Mr. Rattan, I know you were worried about this. What do you think?
Well, this lawsuit was all about greed. They got paid all kinds of money,
Yeah.
and it was in the contract, black and white, that the house is as is.
Yeah,
You're taking
that's
it,
what the
and she
judge
signed
said.
on the dotted line, and we won. I'm happy.
Okay.
Justice
good for
is
you.
served.
Very good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Harvey, what do you think?
I mean, here's the deal. The plaintiffs needed insurance, so the defendant doesn't have to pay the deductible. Plaintiffs only entitled to out-of-pocket losses, and there are none.